And joining me now, the president's chief medical advisor on the COVID-19 pandemic, Dr. Anthony Fauci. Dr. Fauci, thanks so much for joining us. I want to start with this new reporting from Reuters today that Israel, the government of Israel, is beginning to administer Pfizer boosters, third shots, to people that they consider vulnerable. Here in the United States, the FDA and the CDC say that we do not need booster shots. Do you think boosters could theoretically help vulnerable people?
Well, certainly they theoretically could. What the CDC and the FDA were saying, Jake, is that right now, given the data and the information we have, we do not need to give people a third shot, a boost, superimposed upon the 2 doses you get with the mRNA and the 1 dose you get with J&J. But that doesn't mean we stop there. They continue. I mean, there are studies being done now, ongoing as we speak, about looking at the feasibility about if and when we should be boosting people. So this isn't something that we say, no, we don't need a boost right now, the story's ended forever. No, there's a lot of work going on to examine this in real time to see if we might need a boost. But right now, given the data that the CDC and the FDA has, they don't feel that we need to tell people right now you need to be boosted.
And as you know, Pfizer disagrees. Pfizer is recommending a booster, a third shot. I wonder, are you worried at all that if the CDC and FDA change their recommendations and boosters do become recommended in a few months, that some Americans will see this as, and some demagogues in the media and politics will portray this as, another flip-flop, and it will undercut trust in the FDA and CDC?
Yeah. Well, Jake, I mean, you have a very good point there. Inevitably, something like that will happen. I think what people need to understand, and it's really important to understand that when you have an organization like the CDC and the FDA that are responsible for the regulatory components of what we do, as well as the public health, when they make a formal recommendation, it has to be based on data that's evidence that proves we need to go in this direction. Before you get that data, there will always be people, well-meaning people and well-meaning companies will say, you know, the way we look at the situation, it looks like you might need a booster, so let's go ahead and give a booster. But that's not a formal recommendation. I mean, even individual physicians, we know some physicians right now that I know that are saying, you know, I want to take the extra step, go the extra mile with someone who might actually have a lower level of immunity. Those are the things that are out there. But if you're looking at formal recommendations from organizations, it's always based on data. And as we've said so many times, Jake, data evolves. You get more information as the time goes by. So when you get to the point where you have enough information to make a firm recommendation, that is not flip-flopping. That is making recommendations as the data evolve. And I know sometimes it's difficult to understand that, but that's what happens when you get formal recommendations from organizations like the CDC and like the FDA.
The CDC used to track what are called breakthrough infections. That's fully vaccinated individuals who have been infected with coronavirus. They used to track it. Now they have stopped. They're only tracking breakthrough cases that result in hospitalization or death. Does it not seem premature to stop tracking all breakthrough cases, given the fact that there's this even more contagious Delta variant, not to mention the questions about boosters? Shouldn't the CDC just continue to track breakthrough infections?
And they will be doing that, Jake. You make a very good point. I mean, one of the important issues that, and you didn't ask this, but it is important to emphasize that the vaccines that we have now, even when you have breakthrough infections, the protection against severe disease, hospitalization that might ultimately lead to death, is still very, very high in effectiveness, well into the 90s. So even though you do get these breakthroughs, but the question you're asking is a good one, and you will be seeing much more testing being done. This is being very actively discussed right now.
The number of new cases in the U.S. has almost doubled now from its lowest point. It's up to more than 19,000 new cases a day from about 10,000 new cases a day last month. The Delta variant is now causing more than half of new infections. We know the U.S. has more than enough vaccines for everybody who's eligible. Why are we not able to stop this? What is the problem with getting as many people as possible vaccinated to stop this pandemic in the United States?
You know, Jake, it's an inexplicable pushing back on the part of some people about getting vaccinated. I heard it when you were talking just a while ago to the congressman about the idea of people saying that government is knocking on your door trying to force you to vaccinate. That is not the case at all. We're getting trusted messages to try and get people to understand and appreciate why it's important for their own safety, for that of their families, and for the community in general. There's no reason not to get vaccinated. You make a very good point. There are places in the world, many places, where the vaccination availability is practically nil. Those people would do anything to get a vaccine. We in the United States have enough vaccinations to give to everybody in the country, and they're life-saving. I mean, we've got to put aside this ideological difference or differences thinking that somebody's forcing you to do something. The public health officials, like myself and my colleagues, are asking you to do something that will ultimately save your life and that of your family and that of the community. So, Jeff, Jake, I don't know. I mean, I really don't have a good explanation, Jake, about why this is happening. I mean, it's ideological rigidity, I think. There's no reason not to get vaccinated. Why are we having red states and places in the South that are very highly ideological in one way, not wanting to get vaccinations? Vaccinations have nothing to do with politics. It's a public health issue. It doesn't matter who you are. The virus doesn't know whether you're a Democrat, a Republican, or an independent. For sure, we know that. And yet there is that divide of people wanting to get vaccinated and not wanting to get vaccinated, which is really unfortunate because it's losing lives.
The conservative political conference, CPAC, is going on this weekend. I want to play for you a clip of one of the speakers from that event yesterday.
They were hoping, the government was hoping, that they could sort of sucker 90% of the population into getting vaccinated, and it isn't happening, right? There's younger people.
I'm going to cut him off right there because he just goes on to just say things that are not true about the vaccine. But what I wanted to get your reaction to is the crowd cheering when this gentleman talks about how the government was not able to achieve a 90% vaccine goal. The crowd cheers. As a public health official, what's your reaction when you hear that?
It's horrifying. I mean, they're cheering about someone saying that it's a good thing for people not to try and save their lives. I mean, if you just unpack that for a second, Jake, it's almost frightening to say, hey, guess what? We don't want you to do something to save your life. Yay! Everybody starts screaming and clapping. I just don't get that. I mean, I don't think that anybody who's thinking clearly can get that. What is that all about? I don't understand that, Jake.
On the other side of the political spectrum, the former Health and Human Services Secretary under President Obama, Kathleen Sebelius, said this week that she's frustrated. She thinks it's time for the Biden administration to push schools and businesses and others to mandate the vaccine. She said specifically, quote, "I'm trying to restrain myself, but I've kind of had it. You know, we're going to tiptoe around mandates. It's like, come on, I'm kind of over that. I want to make sure that people I deal with don't have it so I don't transmit it to my granddaughter," unquote. Now, Sebelius is giving voice to the frustration a lot of vaccinated Americans have about how it seems like society is bending over backwards to not offend people who refuse to get vaccinated. You know, people who are vaccinated have to wear masks on airplanes because airplanes don't want to mandate that you have to be vaccinated to fly. I know you've been very clear that the government isn't mandating vaccines, but do you think it's generally a good idea for businesses or schools to require vaccinations?
Right. I have been of this opinion, and I remain of that opinion, that I do believe at the local level, Jake, there should be more mandates. There really should be. We're talking about life and death situation. We've lost 600,000 Americans already, and we're still losing more people. There have been 4 million deaths worldwide. This is serious business. So I am in favor of that. You know, one of the things that will happen, and I think the hesitancy at the local level of doing mandates is because the vaccines have not been officially fully approved. But people need to understand that the amount of data right now that shows a high degree of effectiveness and a high degree of safety is more than we've ever seen with emergency use authorization. So these vaccines are as good as officially approved with all the I's dotted and the T's crossed. It hasn't been done yet because the FDA has to do certain things, but it's as good as done. So people should really understand that. But they're waiting now until you get an official approval before. And I think when you do see the official approval, Jake, you're going to see a lot more mandates.
All right, Dr. Anthony Fauci, thank you so much. Appreciate your time today.
Thank you.